Where there is a will, there is a way. Call Gus for notary services.
Well, that was fast, quick, and easy. What's up, guys? So I'm going to be live from 2:30 to 3:30. It's about an hour to talk all things AI. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of it. I apologize. I'm sending a text message to da-da-da. Hey, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Okay. So I've been posting a lot of content lately, AI focused. And I know a lot of people have been asking me, like, I think the main questions that I'm getting are like, it's overwhelming. Like, where do you start? Where am I? Like, I want to use AI. Most people, I think, at this point are using like ChatGPT. At this point, I would think you'd be surprised. A lot of people still aren't using ChatGPT. But they're like, okay, I'm using ChatGPT, but I'm just using it for like basic stuff. And when we're talking about, and this is really for any business, it doesn't matter what your services, your product is. Like, if you're not using AI in your business right now, which you're kind of not gonna say you're behind, because people still, like, I've been using AI now for at least 2 years. I want to say it's possible. I think it's 3 years now. And so it's not to say that you're, Dorothy, see your video? I think it's your video, but I'll send it to you. Anywho, but if you're not using AI, if you're not behind yet, you will be. Okay. It's definitely an industry disruptor. A lot of people feel like they can ignore it and kind of just put their head in the sand. Like, what is that? Is it an ostrich? And they just put their hand in the sand. And, like, I've been asking a lot of questions, like, especially like in our industry, which is the notary space. And people seem to think that we are exempt from the reality of AI, and we are not. And to be delusional about it is to be a blockbuster. It's to be completely like oblivious. And the number one thing that every business should do, I don't say it's number one, but one thing that every business should do is to figure out what would kill your business, like what would ruin your business. And you either do that thing, like what would make your business obsolete, or what would put you out of business. And then you do that thing, or at least be aware of it and you pivot in that area. And then you can then run defense or run offense and either implement that thing or at least figure out what would be my pivot point, And so to put your head in the sand and pretend it doesn't exist is not a good way to do that. And so basically the main thing I want to do today is just to answer any questions that you guys have, even if it's like, okay, well, Vanessa, where do I start? You can even ask things like, hey, well, this is what, like, I tell everybody, like, when they're trying to figure out what to do with AI, and this is not like, I train people that's not just notaries with AI now, and it's not, what you want to do is you want to figure out, what am I doing on a day-to-day? Like, what are the actual action items that I take in my business? Like, what systems are running my business? What am I actually doing? And you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't do that part. And when you don't do that, you tend to just find a million tools out there and you get blown away and you end up signing up for so many things and you get on the AI rabbit hole and then you just get lost in the sauce. But the most effective way to get into AI is first, do a little basic research before getting into ChatGPT, play around with it. But I have all my clients and all my students write down, brain dump, and write down, what do I actually do on a day-to-day? And you'd be surprised. You might feel like, well, that's pretty simple. No. It's actually not. And I said to say, there's like, I have done that where I've written down everything that I do on a day-to-day. And I was on a call recently with some students, and it was so funny because I was using an AI tool and it was automating like my lead gen, my like my email sequence, all the things like that. And then it automatically pulled their social media handles and then it kept going to the next thing. But I didn't realize I was still manually following them on a social media platform. I still had to go click the button. And it was only on that session where I was like, hey, hold on, I'm still clicking the button. I can set an automation for that. I don't have to click the button anymore. And so one thing about AI and learning, like, no one has all the answers. No one. Okay, not even the founders and the builders of OpenAI. Like they're still figuring out things that can be done. And it's so funny if you watch a lot of their videos and you read like their PR releases, and they'll talk about, oh, we found this new thing that it can do. It can do this, right? So like everyone's still trying to figure out all of the things that it can do, and it will continue to get better and more in depth and more, things. It will learn more, and it will say, oh, I can actually do this. Like, well, I'm not gonna give examples because then we can go down the rabbit hole of examples that we can figure out that it does. But I say it to say, just using it and getting used to, being creative and thinking about, well, that's why I said the number one thing you should do is write down everything that you currently do. And if they're just talking about in the business space, just write down all your actions. And I will tell you, even if you write them all down, tomorrow, next week, you're going to think of more things that you're actually doing. And then you'll get more detail. Like, for example, a lot of you guys know I talk about Zapier all the time. When you first start using Zapier, you're pretty much just going to do like one or two zaps or like a couple triggers. But the most in-depth zaps, and if you don't know what Zapier is, it's okay. But the most in-depth zaps have like 30 to 40 steps to it. Now I say 30 to 40, but there's probably people out there who have like 100 segments to it or 200 segments to it. But, you don't start off there. You start off with the 1 to 2. And I said to say, like, even when you're getting into ChatGPT, like most people with ChatGPT, you go in there, you start playing basic prompts like, oh, write me a Facebook post or write me da da da. But you don't really get into the depths of all the things it can do, all the integrations. Like now, of course, with agent mode, like there's a lot you can do with it. And then, but you would not try to do that all in the same day. Like you want to like kind of build upon your knowledge base. And that goes into my next point of, you shouldn't try to, I don't think it's the best method. I'm going to tell you what you can and cannot do. You can do whatever you want to do. I don't feel like you should try to learn a lot of tools all at once. And it can be really hard because once you start like learning AI tools, especially if you're like doing it on social media, you're going on YouTube or whatever, you're going to see a lot of people, like even me, like in this one conversation alone, I've already mentioned 2 tools, right? And so if you're learning from people on social media, you may hear them mention like 3 to 4 to 5 tools in one video. And you might say, okay, well, I'm going to go get all 5. Don't do that. Trust me. I want to say, when I first got started, it was like 3 years ago, and I could in one day I could have registered for and paid for like 5 tools. And not to say like that was ineffective. It was just like I ended up paying. Well, and I'm not mad at that because I wasn't, but I had a different motive behind using all the tools. So my motive was learning. I wanted to learn all the tools that were, well, not all, because that's almost impossible. I wanted to learn about as many tools out there that existed, and the tools get built every single day. But my goal wasn't just to find tools that I could use in my business. That wasn't my goal. Most of you guys, your goal is going to be find tools that you could just use in your business. My goal was and still is to continue to learn the entire industry of AI. So learning all the tools that are out there, what it does, what's the best. And you'll be surprised. Like you'll have some heavy hitters that have like great, it's a great AI tool. And then next week, another one came out with better features and it's faster and it can do more. And it's like, well, and they're out of here. And so, that's where it gets into this new space of all things AI, but that's why I say like, those are my 2 biggest things. Like, don't try to learn everything in one day. Like don't try to get all the platforms and all the tools out there in one day. Pick one and lock in and learn that. But also, figure out what you currently do. And like I said, I have a little spreadsheet a little PDF that I give people when they're like, okay, well, how do I figure out my tools? It's a little questionnaire that helps you just like brain dump all like, what am I doing? And then like, what do I do in a day to day? Because most people, it's like asking them like, how do you walk? And they're like, well, if I say like right now to everybody right now, what do you do in your job on a day to day? Like if you just really quickly just thought about it, you'd give me some of the basic stuff. Like I send emails, I respond to emails, I make phone calls, like, but it's so much deeper than that. And you generally do that first level of I send emails, but sometimes like you don't think of, well, I have to do research to send emails. I have to do like an email sequence, or I have to do, it's kind of like brainstorming to the emails that you send. And let's say, for example, it's I make phone calls. Okay, well, you make phone calls, but it's deeper than I make phone calls. It's I have to find clients to call. I have to book calls. I have to send a email like follow up after the call. I have to like take notes during the call. It's a whole like brainstorming activity and really feeling out what it is you actually do. And once you start to really pick apart just one action that you thought was one action, then we can really start to apply those tools that you can use to automate your business. And that's the fun part. To me, like that's the fun, engaging part, because you think it, right now, if I say, okay, what do? You might give me like 3 to 4 things, but really you do. Most people, especially if you're an entrepreneur, most people do more than 3 to 4 things. But you don't think about that. You don't think, oh yeah, I do more than, you're probably doing like 100 things, but it's being able to break those things down. And I will tell you, the more we're able to break down what you do, the more detailed and the more automation we can put into it, which then will, one, increase your revenue, increase your business operations, but then also free up your time to do more things, and so you want to get really detailed so that way you can have more things automated, less that you have to do on a day-to-day with that one task in particular. Does that make sense? Yeah, I like it. Okay, so what I wanted to do for you guys today is I wanted you guys just to ask any questions about AI in general. Like, what is it? If you are running a business, what business are you running? I think most of you guys would be doing notary, but I know I have like my personal Facebook in here, so you may not all be just notaries. But like, what is it that you do, or what are you looking for AI to do for you? And it could even be, oh, I don't even know what AI can do. That could be your question. Like, well, what can AI do? I also love when people ask questions like, well, do you think like AI is going to kill us all? And we have heard all of the variations. Well, if you listen to like a lot of the tech founders and things like that, they'll talk about, the possible outcomes. You'll hear the dark side of the possibilities, and then of course the everything working out perfectly fine. And so a lot of people sometimes they ignore AI because they think in them ignoring it, they'll be like, okay, if I just don't use it, it'll go away. AI is not going anywhere. It's literally not going anywhere. And so to me, this is my opinion. I don't think everyone has to use, they don't think everyone has to use AI. But if you're looking to, and it's really just not for businesses, like that's a whole other talk all by itself. Like I use it for a lot of things. But for this purpose today, we're talking about like automating your business, growing your business, things that you can do. And yeah, and then so basically it's just like just thinking of focusing on what business you have, even as far as education, like as far as learning in your business. You can even use AI to figure out things that you're missing in your business, to analyze like your social media, to analyze your finances, to analyze your market, to develop plans for you, like things that you can do, and then implement said plans. Like it was so funny. I was editing a video this morning and I wanted to use a feature that I saw on someone else's TikTok, and I could not figure out how to do it in CapCut. And so I went into ChatGPT and I was like giving him the questions, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure out this, that, and it was like telling me, okay, do this or do that, or yada, yada. And I'm like, it's not working. And we're like going back and forth trying to like get it to work. And it's just really funny. Like we did figure it out in the end. But I said to say, like, I use AI for a lot of things. Like I think it's one of my go-to things whenever I have a question. It's very powerful. And I even say, like, now with AI, there's really nothing that you can't learn. One of the biggest things that I think the biggest problems that people have with AI, which is the key to using it, is understanding how to prompt it. I've had people say, like, well, AI doesn't work, like ChatGPT doesn't work. It does. It reminds me of like people who like get on social media and they say, well, I post all over Instagram and it doesn't work. It does. And it's like people who like create Google ads and like, oh, it didn't work. It does. It's a matter of learning how to use it, and my favorite quote, that my favorite analogy is like going to a party. If you're going to go to someone's party and they gave you instructions of what they want, so let's say it's a costume party, you can't come to the costume party in like regular clothes, right? If you're going to play a game, if you go to someone's house to play a game, let's say you go play Monopoly, you can't start like getting all the pieces and playing Scrabble. Like that, it's not going to work. Like, and they're going to be like, well, they cheated. It's not working. And something that doesn't work, you're not playing the game by the rules. So for example, if you're like posting on Instagram and you're not getting reach, you're not playing by Instagram's rules. If you're using Google Ads and you're not seeing results, you're not playing by Google's rules. And so, and all of them tell you exactly what the rules are. Now, ChatGPT, not so much. Doesn't like have a pamphlet of how to use it. And I'm sure OpenAI eventually, I mean, they have content, but it's not like in the basic place when you get in, like, oh, this is how you prompt, and that's because remember earlier I said everyone is still figuring out how to do it. Like even like the team at OpenAI, a lot of like super high tech people that are like I follow on social media and things like that, they're still figuring out prompts that work. It's like and it's so funny because I did a prompt today and I was like, I have to find it. I said I was gonna make a video on it. And they're changing the way, like the back end of what you can do. Like they're putting like different securities on it and things like that. But like everybody's still trying to figure out prompting because there's no like this. And one thing that's cool about AI, you can say it's cool or it's scary, is that it continues to learn from users. And so it's going to keep changing. The more you keep prompting it and the more we continue to use it, the more it starts to understand what we're looking for. And that's one thing too, I will give you for ChatGPT in particular. A lot of AI tools are like this too, where they start to learn your behavior. But with ChatGPT now, like I don't have to give it as much content and I prompt, like it's learned a lot about me already. So it knows what I'm looking for and what I'm wanting it to do. Does that make sense? Because it does learn you. Okay, so that's my blurb. So now I definitely want to get into some tools and just kind of give you guys an idea of what you can do with some AI tools. So go ahead and just put in the chat something that you either want to automate in your business or a question about an AI tool in particular that you use. Hopefully it's one that I use. I don't know. I'll be surprised. You might. And it's so funny because someone showed me a video generator that it was an image generator that they were using. And it was cool, but then I showed them some of the ones that I use. I was like, these are a bit better. But you're just continuing to learn and to try different things. So what's something that you currently do in your business or that you are looking to automate within your business to help you automate, grow, all the things. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's see. Anybody have a question? I will wait. See if you guys have anything that you're looking to do. And I will say sometimes people don't know. I get that. If you feel like, or you feel like I don't really know what I can automate, you can just kind of put that. I will tell you one of the first things that I was really happy about automating was my emails. Like, I don't know about you, but I get a ton of emails, like a ton of emails. And that's one of the ones that I tell people too. Like I was using Jasper initially. I used Jasper. I used, what's that other one? Because I stopped using, they have a blue logo. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Let me think if I can find it. It was really big and they're still around. I still have the integration in my email. I just don't use it as much. I'm trying to think of what that one was called. Jasper I still use. And the reason why I like Jasper, for example, you can train it. You can teach it what you want it to do. Anywhere your cursor is online or on your, online. I don't know if I can use it offline. I have to check, but just pretty much anywhere online. No, I think because I use it in Microsoft Word. It can write for you. And so it can also respond to emails. It does a whole lot. But I have a new email responder that I've been really enjoying, and it's called Ellie. I like it because it doesn't just draft my emails. It learns. You can create agents in there, like roles, so it knows like what context it needs to respond. So like I have multiple email accounts, and so for different companies, and then on my personal, and so I'm able to create different roles. So it's like, okay, in this email you are da 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 da. This is the business model. This is what we do. That you can feed it all the context. And this email you are here. In my personal email you do this, and so it's able to respond based off the role that I assigned it. And I like also that it doesn't just respond to emails. It will also, what am I going to say? Make sure my Wi-Fi looks funky. It will also tag it. So it'll put like, in the email, it'll say like action needed. So if it reads the email and it sees that I need to do something, it'll mark it as, hey, you need to do something neat in this email, and it'll say action needed. Otherwise it'll respond. If it's just a marketing email, it'll just tag it marketing, like something to do for this. And so I like that. And then anyone that needs a response, it'll draft the response. And then if I need to change it, I can, but it's drafted. If it's good to go, I just hit send. And so it doesn't send them automatically, but it does draft it all for you. And so I don't really have to go in and draft emails. And then if I want to just do a fresh email from scratch, then I can prompt it. It has a little instruction, same thing. It'll write it for you. I'll do a video on that and show you guys how that goes. But usually now, if I'm doing an email, I'm using an app called Whisper, and I'll put the link in the bottom of the video after. I use an app called Whisper on my phone and on my computer, and I swear by it. Like, swear by it. Listen to me. Swear by it. What? That thing is amazing. That thing is amazing. That thing. Yeah, get a little crazy. It's amazing. How do you guys use like Siri or whatever on your mobile? I don't know what the Android version of Siri is, but and you guys know like Siri doesn't always get it right. A lot of the times, like her text is not right. She definitely will not do profanity. I don't know if you guys have figured out how to get her to do that, but she won't. And then some like stuff she just doesn't know. Even if I use it a lot, sometimes she just doesn't get the stuff right. And on top of that, she doesn't format. And I'm assuming now with this new app coming out, they probably will update her to be better. But the reason why I like Whisper is because I can talk and it formats. So for example, actually, I can show you. I can show you, but not, I can show you better than I can tell you. Okay. So, let me see if I could just get into an email really quick. And then I'll show you. So, oh my gosh, this is why I don't get in my email. But this is a prime example. I'm gonna see if I can show you, because if it's not too much going on, oh no. It's my personal email, so it has a lot, but I was going to show you like how it tags everything and it writes the responses. But it is a couple things in there that I don't want public on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is just open a brand new video. I mean, a brand new email, and I'll show you how. And it's so funny because I have so many tools in here at this point. It's like, well, which AI tool are you going to use? And I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's get in here. All right, so we're going to go right into my email, and I'm going to talk to text using Whisper. So Whisper is already on my device, and so I'm just going to go, good morning, April. I need you to send the file to John today for the marketing template, and be sure to include the following action items. Schedule 10 social media posts, write 5 engaging captions, create 5 images to go with the media post, schedule all the posts out in advance for the week. Thank you so much, and let me know if you need any help with this. So as you see, it did format it, and all I did was talk. So it pretty much picked up on what I was talking about. It went ahead and created the bullet points. The only thing that I would go in and do is I would put that down here. Like I would change it like that. And then of course I would put like this. Yeah. And then I would leave it like that. And so a lot of times I don't even have to go in and edit it. It just does it the way I want it to do. And so the reason why I'm in love with this is because I can send completely formatted emails from my car while I'm driving. Like I can just talk and it will do it for me. And so this is a tool that I swear by. It works with your computer. Wherever your cursor is, you can just start talking to text and it will talk wherever you are. Doesn't matter if you're on social media, if you're in Microsoft Word, if you're on a computer, whatever you are in, it will pick up on what you're saying and it'll format it properly. So definitely one of my favorite tools. The other one the reason why I like that too is that it works on my phone. So on my phone, anywhere that I can type, I can just talk. So I really don't. And it's so funny because I actually learned that through Cody. Cody is a social media, well, she's a business that she's an entrepreneur. And I was watching one of her videos. She's a huge channel. Is it Cody Sanchez? I don't want to say her last name wrong, but I love her content. And she was saying how like she doesn't type at all. And I was still typing at the time. And I was just like, what do you mean? But I listen to the people that have the results that I want. And that's, I follow them. Like, I don't play these games. And so I say that to say, I'm trying to find the link for you guys. Okay. So she was just saying how like she never types anymore. Like she doesn't type. And I was like, how do you not type? And she's like, I don't like, I'm listening to her. And she's like, I don't type on my phone. I don't type on my computer. I don't type at all. I just talk. And I'm like, what? Because I know like people love typing. Like people love Siri, but Siri's cool. Like remember when Siri first came out, like even in the past couple years, and we love, I'm not gonna say her name. I'm gonna say, hey S, call, da 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 da. Hey S, do this. We love doing it because it's so much easier. But now it's the point, like I don't think, and we loved the talk to text initially until something came out better. And so it's like I think I've been using this one in particular for about a month now, and it's so funny. I actually get mad. I get irritated when I have to type something. I'm like, I don't want to type. I just want to talk. Like, because it's still force a habit. And so force a habit, sometimes I may go for the keyboard. I'm like, oh, like most of my computer, I don't go for the keyboard, but sometimes I do. And I have to like, oh, but on my phone, I do not go for the keyboard at all. I don't. I just talk it away. But it's funny because of my computer, sometimes I just, go back to time. Oh, wait, hold on. And I love that I don't have to. Like, so it's just showing like where we're, so they think about too, like even when I'm in ChatGPT, I don't really type in ChatGPT anymore. Like I used to, but I don't have to anymore. So there's two features that I will use in ChatGPT. I am on the paid, and I think the only way you get, so you can talk on the free version, but it's not on the video. It's like you can talk and then hit submit and then it'll process. But if you go on the paid version, which I think everybody's on the paid version at this point, it's $20 a month. Honey, if you're not using it, I don't know why. But the reason why I like the paid version is because I can talk to the video part. So I really am either gonna have it, like I'm gonna show you so you don't think like, make sure you know what I'm talking about. So like I will do, it's a button. Let's see if you can, it's like this, hey Rico. So it's gonna talk to me.
Nessa, or should I say Nessa, since I know you like that. What's up? I'm here and ready to help. So just let me know what you need and we'll dive right in.
Okay, thank you so much. You're the best. Okay, so he comes up and then I don't want to do it because he's gonna start talking, but the video, like, so I can show him things. And so I will either put it up with the camera and it'll be looking at me or looking at whatever I'm talking about, and I'll just talk to it like that. Or if I don't need it to see what I have going on, then I will just use the whisper button and I'll just start talking. And so to kind of give you an idea of what that looks like, it's like, okay, so when I'm in here, all I'm going to do is hit that button right there and I'm just going to start talking. So it'll be like this. Oops. It'll be like, hey, I need to make a new social media post and I want it to be really engaging and I want it to have like a very funny vibe, but I don't know what I want to talk about. I just know that I want it to like target entrepreneurs and I want it to really encourage them to respond to something engaging, but I need ideas. What you got? And then it sent it, and then it's going to give me back a bunch of stuff, which it's doing. Like it's doing all the ideas that it came up with. and then I can look at it and say, okay, I'm just going to say, okay, cool. Then I'm going to say again on Whisper. Oh, hold on. Okay, so I really like number 3, but can you make like 2 or 3 more posts that's similar to number 3? So now you see like how I'm getting there a lot faster than someone who's typing. Now, I use this when I'm creating content. I will do like this, but you could get a lot more in depth and I don't want to like make it too crazy. So like if I'm on the part where I'm talking to him and he's looking at me and I say he, even though I know it's tech, we can have a whole conversation. And this is kind of what it looks like. Hey, can you hear me?
Absolutely. I can hear you loud and clear. Let
Okay.
me know what you need.
So I was thinking about making a like online notary escape room. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think that sounds like such a cool and creative idea. An online notary escape room would definitely be a unique twist. Kind of a fun way for people to learn or get engaged with notary concepts while also solving puzzles. I can already imagine the scenarios you could create. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea.
Where would I host that? Like, what is a good place to host it?
Yeah, so for something like an online escape room, you got a few options depending on how fancy you want to get. If we want to keep it pretty straightforward, you could use something like a dedicated e-learning platform, think of Fig or Teachable, for example, to sort of gamify it with modules and scenarios. Or if you want something a little more interactive and puzzle-like, you could actually use a platform designed for virtual escape rooms. There are tools like Telescape or even a customized game built in something like a Notion page or a combination of Zoom and an interactive website.
Okay, hold on. You said there are already online platforms that you can build a virtual escape room on?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, can you give me like 5 of the best and create a chart with pros and cons so I can make a decision on which one I want to use?
Absolutely. Let me give you a quick rundown.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I'm glad I could help you brainstorm all that. If you need any more details or just want to chat through the options, just let me know.
Okay, so then of course in my chat, it creates the chart to give me the rundown. So I exited out before I finished. Can you put the chart right here for the platforms? Thank you. And people are always like, why are you so nice to your AI? I'm gonna be nice to them in case they come to life. In case they come to life. I need to make sure they know I was always nice. But that's just an example of like how to use it. And of course, you can get a lot more in depth than that. And this is just like a kind of overview of like one AI tool in particular. Now, ChatGPT, of course, you have the new agent mode that everybody is loving right now. And then, of course, with the new ChatGPT 5, you have the integrations with the Google Calendar, with the was it Google? I think I had Outlook on here too. Let me see. Oh, I can't do it on my phone. Okay. But you can do a lot in here, and I'm not even just gonna go. That's a whole class all by itself. Like, and it continues to grow and get better. Like, there's more that you can do on there. My ChatGPT is called Ricky. Thank you. It's so funny because you said your name is Leo. Yours is named Leo. Mine's is named Ricky. But anyway, so that's what I like about it. I like talking to get my ideas out. And this is where, like I was telling people, a lot of people don't really understand how powerful AI is and how it's going to completely change everybody's industry, period. Like, period. It's not even a game anymore. It's already here and it's doing the thing. Okay, so I did see somebody asked, oh, you said you're blowing my mind. Okay, so I do use Gemini sometimes inside my email. It just really depends. It's actually gotten a lot better with email responses. But now that I use I kind of use it sometimes, not a whole lot. A lot less now because Ellie writes a lot of the stuff for me. So if I need to use it, I can. It's more so I like Gemini's. I use the Gemini feature primarily for the Google VO3 as what I've been really into lately. There's other video generators that are really good. Another one I like is Kling AI. I like that. There's a few other ones that I'm still playing around with to see, and they're continuing to grow and get better. So like you just got to keep playing around with them. Okay. I want to create better short form videos and blogs for my social media. So Okay. So there's a lot of blog generators you can do. ChatGPT is one. Because I know me I talk about SEMrush a lot. I like SEMrush for blogs for your website. It's very, I can't even begin to tell you how accurate it is for SEO purposes. Short form videos for your social. Oh, that's a loaded one. Oh gosh. There's so many. There's so many. And it's so funny. I remember Pictory was a popular one when it first came out, and I think they were one of the bigger ones. Since then, a lot more have come out for short form video. Even like Canva now will do Canva will do some video. It depends on what kind of video you're trying to do. It really does. I'm trying to think of a really good, and it depends. Like, are you trying to do like long form to short form, new, just like generation? You want it to be realistic, you want it to be like cartoony looking. How long do you want it to be? It's also a thing. So for example, like Google VO3 will do, it only does 8-second clips. And so most people who use the VO3 will have to create, which is fine, multiple clips and then combine it. So like if you do multiple clips and then put it into like a CapCut, then you can do it there. I even, like, someone was telling me, I haven't used it, that CapCut has a video generator. And I don't know, I haven't used it yet, but they were telling me that they were using CapCut's video generator. And I don't know how. I know it had like a lot of AI templates inside CapCut. I'm trying to see if I can see if it has one in here. Da-da-dum. AI avatars. Yeah, they have a script to video. So they have a script to video. They do have an AI generator in there. And so what I'll do too, actually, because someone told me to use this a little while ago and I hadn't done it, I will go ahead and play with that today and see what I think about that. But either way, I will take my videos from like Google VO3 or Kling or whatever like video generator I'm using, and I will just always edit it in CapCut anyway. And so I'll play around with CapCut today and see how their AI generator, video generator works. And I'll let you know, because we have class tomorrow, and I'll kind of let you guys know what I think about it. But yeah, so it just really depends on what you're trying to do. And one thing, when you said Whisper is my new favorite tool, I hate typing. I like it. I like it. Google make it easy. I see that. Okay. Yeah. So Whisper is, I think, and it's so funny because I think Whisper's plan is like, it's like $20 a month, I think. I think it's $20 a month. I forget. But honey, well worth it. It's like ChatGPT. Like, I'm always going to pay the $20 a month. It's never going to go away. I may go up, but I'm never going to stop paying for it unless all of the features, like the being able to show, like, prime example, I got a propane grill. I want to say it was like a month ago, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. And this is why I'm telling you guys that feature is really good, because I turned the camera on ChatGPT and I had it give me tech support. I mean, not tech support. I had it give me support on the grill to help me get it to work. I'm showing it like I did that. It's like, okay, well, did you do this? I did that. You see, I did that. I was fussing at it. I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story that happened between me and Ricky. Okay, Ricky, depends what I want to call him. My TV, one of the buttons on my TV broke. Was it the power button? It was a power button. It broke. And so we couldn't find the remote control. Let me tell you what happened. And so we were using like a little pen to push the pen into the button to get it to cut on. Like, it's really complicated. Anyway, after a certain point, it just stopped working. You probably like, Vanessa, why don't you just go to the store and get like a virtual, what do you call it? I can't think of what it's called. It's universal remote control. And I said I was going to. I don't really watch TV that much, more for my kids. So it wasn't on my high to-do list. And so one day I wanted to watch TV. And so I went to go try to use the pen and it wasn't working. And so I turned the camera on ChatGPT and I showed it the part of the TV that was broken, the button. And I said, hey, this is what happened. It broke. We've been using the pen to cut it on. And the pen's not working. Do you know workaround and how we get this TV on without a remote control? Da, da, da. Do you know Rico laughed at me? He laughed. And it was so funny because my sister was sitting on the couch. He laughed. He said, you were doing what? He was like, okay, hold on. And then he proceeded to tell me what to do. But it was so funny because he laughed at me first. And I was like, sir, I'm offended. And my sister started laughing. And he was just like, at the end of the day, he was like, you should just get a universal remote control. And I was like, first of all, I feel like I'm being judged. Am I being judged today, sir? Am I being judged today? It was just funny. But that's why I say I use it for everything. So I use it if I'm trying to show it something, if I can't figure something out. Anything, like, it's basically having a best friend next to you with like multiple PhDs, like that is in every single topic. He's a genius in every single topic, So I use it, like I said, I pay for my $20 a month because I need that feature. But to that same effect, I pay for Whisper because I don't want to talk to text. You see what I'm saying? And so that's just how I do that. Okay, so we can go for a few more minutes. Okay, so let's just open it up. Who has questions? Oh, so Jetta joined the channel. I love it. I love it. Okay, anybody have questions about what they can do within the world of AI? Even if it's something like, I'm afraid to use it. I get a lot. You'd be surprised, or I get a lot that people underuse it. Like people say, oh, I use ChatGPT, but it doesn't do this, and they think that they don't know all that it can do. And so they don't use it to its fullest capacity. And then so not knowing what it can do, they don't see the reason for investing in it because they don't think it's worth it because they don't know all that it can do. And it's really cool because I use it every day. I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't use ChatGPT. There are some tools that I don't use every day. Like I use Zapier, but Zapier is not designed to be used every day. It's designed to set up trigger, like zaps is what they call it, zaps, so that way you don't have to use it every day. That's the way it's designed. So it's kind of like, okay, when this happens, I then want this next thing to happen. And so you shouldn't have to be in it every day. You should be in it, unless you're constantly setting up new zaps. But you should be in it the day, when you set it up, and then when you're testing it to make sure that it's working. After that, you leave it alone. Unless you get, like, sometimes you'll get a message like, oh, your zap's not working. Get in there and troubleshoot. But the way it's designed, you shouldn't have to be in there every day. So although zaps are happening for me every day, I'm not in the Zapier every day. You see what I'm saying? But I definitely use ChatGPT every day. What else do I use every day? As of late, I've been in Google VO3 every day, and Kling I've been in every day. But that's just because I'm just learning, like, just all that it can do, and really, really trying to get my AI video generation down expertly. I really want it to be really, really, really good. Before, okay, that's what I was going to say. Before, I was trying to think of the other tool I was using. Before I was using them, I was using Synthesia. So Synthesia came out. I was using Synthesia. I did my own AI clone like 2 years ago. I was using that. So a lot of my earlier videos on YouTube were with Synthesia. So they were AI. Some of the videos inside my course are AI generated. And then I went to HeyGen from Synthesia. And I haven't been back on Synthesia since I went to HeyGen, but HeyGen was better, in my opinion, than Synthesia when I switched over. Since then, I'm sure that Synthesia's gotten better. I don't know. HeyGen, I think, is still one of the biggest in the space as far as quality goes. So I still use HeyGen. So HeyGen I still use. I forgot about that. And you can do video generation in there. I like HeyGen because you can make your own avatar in there. So like cloning yourself, you can do that. And then you can use all the other avatars they have if you don't. Like some people like to do like faceless YouTube channels, faceless Instagram, faceless TikToks. Like the AI influencer is huge right now. It's so huge. Oh my God. I didn't even know it was that big. So much so, like, I've been using like little AI versions of myself and just doing stuff that's completely unrelated to what my business is. And it's getting way more viewership and way more traction online than like the regular videos. And so I started following a lot of the AI influencers, and most of them, it depends. Like some of them you can tell are AI, some of them are really good, and you can't tell it's AI unless you like really like focus on it. And people are setting up these channels and like doing affiliate links and selling products and getting paid off of it. And it's just like, the AI clone whether you clone yourself or you use a different avatar and you just run it through on social media, you can make a lot of money doing that. Okay, so question. Did you start with the monthly plans or stay with them with everything changing so fast? I don't know if some of the tools make sense to have it fully. Oh, I definitely do monthly. I do not do annually. And I would not do annually. The only one that I think I paid annually for, I think, was Kling. But yeah, I didn't pay for Gemini annually. That's monthly. I would highly recommend doing monthly because of that reason, because they change so much. And like if you pay monthly for one and then in like 3 months one comes out that's better. I mean, you pay annually for one and then in 3 months one comes out that's better. It's like, why? Well, like Zapier, you can pay annually. And the reason why, because Zapier's been out for years. All they have done is gotten better. They're not going anywhere. And I doubt highly, I'm not going to say it's impossible. The amount of time, effort, resources, brilliance that it would take to be a Zapier, I don't see somebody coming for a while to replace them. If you think about it, like Google dominated the search engine space, and they're just now, after years, getting replaced by ChatGPT. How long did that take? You see what I'm saying? And so I said to say, like, Zapier is a monster at what they do. A monster. And I wouldn't, no. So I'm aiming for that because they're not going anywhere. But there are just some things that most of the AI tools that come out, I pay monthly. Like, because, and it's a high possibility I might cancel them. If something comes out that's better, it just depends. And most of them, I will tell you, you have a free trial or like a free plan where you get limited access to just kind of see if you like it and play around with it, which is good because then you can decide if you want to pay, for the upgrades to have more credits or to, be able to use it longer or with more, like I think HeyGen, I think you can use for free. But if you want the watermark to come off, so if you make a video, for example, it'll have the HeyGen little logo at the bottom and you have to pay to get the logo off. And so like it's stuff like that the paid versions, give you, or just give you better quality, higher quality, like especially with video generation, a lot of the platforms are like, well, if you pay, you get better quality and yada, 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 So, but I would definitely start off with the free version. So like another one that I use, another one that I use that I pay for quite a lot of AI tools. And I feel like sometimes I forget to cancel them because I'm like, I'll get like emails and they'd be like, okay, receipt for yada, yada, yada AI. And it was like, which tool is that? I need to do better with that. But then I just Google it and figure out which one it was. And then I was like, okay, that's what I need to do, like a spreadsheet of all the AI tools that I use. That way I can make sure I'm tracking them. Put it on ChatGPT's list. So that way I'm staying connected with it. But yeah, so I would definitely, like I said, I would pay monthly. Okay. But yeah, that's awesome talk on the wall. I feel like that's a good point for us. If you guys don't have any last minute questions, I'm going to skedaddle and I'll continue to post just good content that I think you guys could use as far as like updates with AI. And it's so funny because people keep saying like, are you transitioning now to just teaching AI? And it's so funny because like I will always probably teach notary because I like it, but I found and it was so funny. I was talking to a friend of mine because I was really getting into like app development and like just more in the tech space. And I never really saw myself. That's what I said. I never really saw myself being in that space, but now I don't know. I'm interested. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see how it goes. But, all right, guys, that is also Talk on the Wall. I hope you guys learned a lot. Definitely reach out to me if you want to kind of do a more one-on-one implementation in your business type situation. Just let me know. And I will continue to post great content for you guys so you guys can keep learning how to grow and scale your businesses. That is all. I will see you guys away. Happy signing. Did y'all see my little AI guy right here? Isn't he awesome? Hold on, let me see. Isn't he cute? All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hey guys, have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide?
If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today and get your copy. You'll be glad you did.